Hey guys, today it is time for another Top 5 Wednesday. This week's topic are your favorite side ships, and for this one I really try to include ships that normally I would not talk about. So, I am not including Alucard and Rye, because if I ever talk about like favorite ships, they will probably be included somewhere in there, and so I thought I would really use this opportunity to only talk about ships that are actually like side ships, not only in the story, but also in my life. That sounds tragic. But I just really wanted to highlight some ships that I feel like I normally don't really get a chance to talk about, but that still kind of mean a lot to me. My number 5 would have to be Jane Bennet and Mr. Bingley, and I actually ship them quite a lot, but I feel like since it is inspired by the movie, I didn't want to put them too high on the list. I just kind of wanted to mention them. The thing is, it's been such a long time since I read the book that I don't really remember how big this storyline even was in the book. I think in the movie it's a really heartbreaking but also lovely storyline, and that I just feel like they fit together so well. It's just insane. And also, you know, both the actors that they casted for these roles, they just, it's just, it fits perfectly, not only because of their personalities, but in the movie also because of the way they look. Like, they just aesthetically are very pleasing to look at together, I feel like. And so, yeah, I really like them. They're just such a cute and fluffy couple. My number 4 would have to be Bren and Tilda from Bitter Blue by Christine Cashore. Now, this relationship is just a really like tiny part of the story. You rarely get to see these characters at all, but I just remember reading this for the first time. I was just so happy to see this same-sex relationship in this trilogy. Like, back then I just read so much like standard YA that had all of these heteronormative relationships in it, be it the main characters or the side ships, and so seeing these two together, even though it's just a small part of the book, makes me really happy. Also, I just really like that in this story it's actually mentioned that they want to have a child together. I feel like a lot of the time in same-sex relationships that's just not something that really comes up, which obviously that's fine, not everybody wants to have children, but I feel like especially in this case where, you know, like adoption doesn't really exist and they actually still talk about how they want to have a child and how I think Teddy is the one that, you know, should help them with that. I just really like that this gets talked about in the story. That's just really cool to me. Then we have Sage and Cal from Geeker by Ashley Poston. This is another of those couples that really has just a really tiny storyline in there. But I just really like how the first time Sage and Cal met, it's already like tension. I just really like kind of seeing how, even though it was just like a few sentences throughout the novel, I just really liked seeing how this kind of developed and how you kind of knew Sage was gay, but then you just kind of saw Cal kind of being like interested in Sage, and you were like, wait, is she queer too? And then just kind of, you know, develop from there. I just really liked seeing their relationship develop, even though it's not really seen in the book, but just kind of seeing where they started as characters as well, and then where it all ended up makes me very happy. My number 2 would have to be Cassie and Mina from The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. Now, these two definitely have a bigger part in the story, and obviously we see most of the relationship from Cassie's point of view, or not from her point of view, but like we see how intense it is because we see how Cassie acts, you know? And I don't know, it was really interesting for me to kind of see how the relationship developed, even though we don't really see how the relationship develops, but simply from like Cassie's behavior. I just really like that. I just feel like, you know, we kind of get to know about them and that they're gonna be a thing from the beginning on, and I just really like that. I feel like you kind of get invested in their relationship from the beginning on too, even though obviously Molly is the main character. And it just makes me incredibly happy that this is the relationship between a lesbian girl and a pansexual girl, because with all of the biphobia and panphobia, I feel like it's just really good to kind of see the relationship, especially because immediately in the beginning, Cassie is like, oh my god, she's pansexual, and not in a way of, oh my god, she's pansexual, but oh my god, she's interested in girls, not really caring about, you know, that it also means that she's interested in other genders. That makes me really happy because that's really a really important representation. And finally, my number one would absolutely have to be Mick and Susanna from the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. These two are just, as characters alone, absolutely wonderful. I just love them, and seeing them together makes me incredibly happy. They are really cool, and I like how they are just, you know, together in the trilogy itself. But this wonderful novella, Night of Cake and Puppets, is what made me absolutely fall in love with these two, because this novella kind of tells the story of how they got together, and it's just beautiful. It's so beautiful. Wow, like this was one of my favorite novellas I have ever read. It's absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy that I decided to read it because I feel so blessed. If you are kind of invested in these characters and in their relationship, I would highly, like 200% recommend you pick this novella up. It's beautiful. And these were my top 5 side ships. Let me know some of the ships that you really ship that don't include the main character. Probably, as always, there is someone somewhere that I have forgotten about. By the way, like, just don't hate me because I didn't mention Malik. I like them a lot, but it's just been super long since I read the Mortal Instruments, and also I feel like they just get a lot of hype as a couple, and I kind of, as I said, wanted to highlight some different ones. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!